Here to join us is travel expert for MissTravelGuru.com, Francesca Page. Francesca, thanks for joining us today. So Thanksgiving, while people were advised to not travel, we saw a lot of people travel, and then we saw a spike. What are you seeing and hearing about people traveling for Christmas?
Well, we know that more than 2.1 million people combined went through airport security Friday and Saturday. And although these numbers were drastically down from the same dates last year, it was the smallest decline in year-to-year traffic volume since before Thanksgiving. Even more travel is actually expected as Christmas nears. AAA projects about 85 million people will travel between December 23rd and January 3rd, most of them by car. But health officials have also noted the increase in chances of transmission events between Christmas and New Year's Day is a longer time span, compared to the Thanksgiving break.
Francesca, if I wanted to take a vacation, let's say next week, and I wanted to go, let's say, to a Caribbean resort, are they open? Are there flights? Could I possibly go?
You know, you could go, but the risk is really up to you. I think what's interesting is there's been a lot of surveys done to see who is going to be traveling, where they are going to be traveling. Actually, there's a new one that came out by NerdWallet, which found that more than 2/3 of Americans who had December holiday travel plans said that these plans have actually been affected, obviously, by the pandemic. But another 22% say they aren't sure yet if their plans will be impacted. So if they had booked a trip, say, for the new year to go to the Caribbean, would they still be going? You know, we know a few things. We know that COVID-19 is going to keep many people primarily from loved ones rather than from these vacations. And among Americans who say their December holiday travel plans have been impacted by the pandemic, 2 in 5 actually said they usually travel with or visit friends and family, but this year they won't.
Francesca, I know that a lot of people I've seen them do getaways, and they've done a lot of Airbnbs instead of hotels. Are you seeing that as well?
Well, it's interesting you say that. Yes, some people will be doing that, but we've also found that staying with loved ones is still going to be the most popular lodging option for the holiday season. Actually, about 2 in 5 holiday travelers plan to primarily stay at the home of a family member or friend this year rather than rent out an Airbnb.
Francesca, recently I traveled to Washington, D.C., and I found the hotel really didn't disclose that they didn't have any restaurants open, and you're really kind of isolated. I survived on a bag of potato chips and pretzels, but for the diet, that maybe is not too good. But is there a site, is there a way people can do research to find out where hotels are really open and what services they provide? Because I'm finding the information from each hotel isn't necessarily consistent or even accurate.
Yes, I myself have dealt with this. I stayed in a hotel for about a week, and I was doing my own, bringing my own towels, sort of my own laundry. There wasn't anywhere to eat, no restaurants open, no bars or anything like that. You had to be quite self-sufficient. Really, what you want to do is research. If you're staying with a chain like Wyndham or Hilton, go ahead, go online. They do update and let people know, travelers know what their policy is and how that's changing, because obviously this is an ever-evolving situation. So you do want to make sure you do your research, go online, call the hotel ahead of time, ask what do I need to bring? How can I be best prepared for my stay?
Francesca, I know obviously folks are going to see their loved ones, as you mentioned, and whether it's a plane or train, God forbid if somebody gets COVID, what are the planes and trains doing if you need to cancel? Is there canceled by this time, or are they pretty flexible as they were in the beginning of the pandemic?
They are pretty flexible. Most airlines right now offer a no fee change if you need to change your flight or if you need to cancel it up to a certain day. But they usually will give you a credit or a voucher, because obviously they need to keep the business going. So they will offer you a voucher to change it to a different date when you feel more comfortable flying. There is a few updates in the airline industry that are very, very interesting. One, for example, is American Airlines is now actually the first airline to expand access to at-home testing for all flights to U.S. locations that have COVID-19 restrictions. This includes Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, and Hawaii. And tests are now available for purchase through the airline's at-home testing partner, Let's Get Checked. So that's one way you can travel in confidence now, is to get yourself tested before you actually get on the flight.